Hey, this is Sydney, and I am here to talk us through it for May 26, 2025. I am recording this also on May 26th, so it's coming in a little bit late, but I really wanted to talk about the new moon in Gemini. I am reporting from my hotel room in Seattle. I was just working my family's conference, NORWAC. It's a Northwest Astrological Conference in Seattle, Washington, and this is the second big event I have gotten to help run in the last 2 weeks, and so I'm running on fumes. But I wanted to talk about Gemini things because I really, really love the Gemini archetype. So we will have a new moon in Gemini today at 8:02 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the moon is doing all of these really cool aspects before, having these little meetings. He's going to meet up in sextile Saturn and Aries and say, hey, what's that about? And is about to do that in just a few minutes' time. There can be a kind of a groundedness with Moon Saturn contacts that kind of allows us to get a little bit more, I want to say again, grounded in the sorts of ideas that are kind of coming to fruition or kind of tapping us in the back of the head and saying, hey, you, what's up? Then at 1:05 p.m., we're going to have the moon in Gemini conjunct Mercury in Gemini. He's at home and he goes, hey, what's up? Like, tell me how you want to do this like new idea thing. How do we want to talk? How do we want to communicate? And I think that is, I love all the Gemini energy in the sky because I think it, after investigating through, Taurus season, things around our values, and things around, our security, now we can take that idea and go, okay, what's new and how do we move forward? At 1:37 p.m., we're going to have the Mercury in Gemini sextile Neptune and Aries, which is also lovely. This can probably give like a little bit of a dreamy quality to the things that we are imagining and the ideas that we are communicating to people, right? Can be a little bit visionary. It can be creative. It can be also kind of playful. I like the aspect a lot personally. And then at 4:14, we're going to have the moon trine that retrograde Pluto. This is the opportunity to go deep, to be investigative, maybe even investigative about like old ideas that we had and saying like, hey, do we need to regenerate these things and actually make something new out of them to go forward? 8:02 p.m., like I said earlier, the new moon in Gemini will happen, and it's going to be at 6 degrees of Gemini. So if you have any placements around 6 degrees, especially of the mutables, you're going to want to pay attention to where that is happening in your chart. If you have planets at 6 degrees Gemini, give or take a few degrees on either side, we know that this new moon is waking up some sort of new idea on that planet. So let's say you had Venus in Gemini. It could be some sort of new idea about how you want to do relationships, how you want to do value. If it's Saturn, how you do your work, right? Something about your boundaries and limits that you're like, oh, this is my new boundary that I want to implement. Something like that. You're going to want to look on the great pizza wheel, the 12 houses, to see where Gemini is in your chart, right? So if we use whole sign houses, and not everybody does, but it is a really easy way to communicate this idea, you're going to want to look to see what house this lights up. So for instance, Gemini is very much a part of my 10th house by whole sign. And so I know there's some sort of new idea about how, business works for me, reputation, vocation, things around how I am outside in the world. There's some sort of new idea about how I'm probably going to do that. If you're a Gemini rising, something about identity. If you have Gemini on your descendant, something about relationships. So you're going to want to look at what house is being kind of lit up by this new moon, investigate, and be very inquisitive, which is a really beautiful thing that Geminis can do, about what you're trying to kind of begin in the germination of ideas. And in about, I want to say like a day and a half time, when you see the little sliver of the moon, that's when we're going to set those intentions to have them flower and grow. So I hope that whatever ideas come with you are absolutely beautiful and feel worthy of, making happen in your life. And I hope that this full this whole moon cycle brings what you need into your life. And I will be back tomorrow in my house with my chihuahua. And I will see you all very soon. Take care.